On Tuesday night, April 8th, 2014, I had just come home from doing my Wrestle Rant radio show, got back to my dorm, was uploading the show to my website. It just put it up on my website. Just mere minutes after that, I got a notification on my phone, a tweet saying, from one of my followers saying, in all caps, Ultimate Warrior died. So I immediately went on my laptop, and I was just about to go to bed too. I was just getting ready for bed, and I Googled it. I went to the WWE.com website, nothing there. There was nothing on ProWrestling.net, the go-to site for everything wrestling of where I go. I've been going for years, and nothing up there, nothing on the WWE website. I Googled it, saw nothing. I only saw death rumors of the Ultimate Warrior. I know there had been death rumors, fake death rumors of the Ultimate Warrior in past years, and in just as early as last week, there was some article on some stupid website for some fake death rumors of the Ultimate Warrior, and I couldn't find anything. So finally, I went to Twitter, and so I'm thinking, okay, maybe this is a prank. This kid's just kidding. I don't know. Maybe there was some kind of rumor going around or something. He heard something that I didn't in terms of it being a joke. So I go on Twitter. My entire timeline is flooded with people saying, all up in confusion, mass confusion as far as what happened to the Ultimate Warrior, and regardless of what happened, I found out that the source of all of this was Triple H. He tweeted something, so I'm thinking, my immediate reaction is that this can't be true. 24 hours prior to this, we saw him on Monday Night Raw. We saw him at the WWE Hall of Fame. We saw him at WrestleMania. So none of this could have been happening. It couldn't have been happening. It was an April Fool's joke a week late. That's what I thought it was. So I go to Triple H's Twitter account. I saw that, so I'm thinking, okay, maybe his Twitter account was hacked. And then I saw it was retweeted by Stephanie, and it was retweeted by the WWE. It was no sooner than maybe an hour later that WWE confirmed the passing, as did a number of websites, and it became official. So personally, I've only been watching for about 6 years now, pro wrestling. 6 years ago, from the 14th of April, I will be making a video about that in a couple days, so be on the lookout for that. But it was 6 years ago that I started watching wrestling. Obviously, I was not around for the Ultimate Warrior era. I was not around for the 80s or the 90s or even the early 2000s of pro wrestling. So I was not around to see the Ultimate Warrior wrestle. But it wasn't even his character that drew me in. It was him as a person. A lot of people aren't familiar with his videos on YouTube, and a lot of people probably weren't. And I'll post a link to his channel down below, and that's where I don't know how I got into his channel, but that's really how I became a fan of Warrior. Not even the Ultimate Warrior, but Warrior himself, his legal name. Jim obviously is was his real name at one point, but he legally changed his name to Warrior, of course. But even still, though, I don't know how I got into the videos or how I started watching them. Maybe he said something in a video that I went back and watched all of his other videos, but they were just so inspirational. They were titled, and a lot of people might be familiar with a lot of my blogs that I do on my website. I've been posting in tweets. I do a little thing called the injection of inspiration when I post inspirational advice and stuff like that. I got that from the Ultimate Warrior. I got that from Warrior. He did that in his videos. If you go back and watch his videos, I know his videos were deleted at one point. All of his videos were wiped out of his channel, and then he re-uploaded them all at one period of time in early 2012. But even still, those were the videos that really helped me personally adopt a more optimistic and positive attitude. So I have him to thank for that. And that's from that point forward, I became an Ultimate Warrior fan, an Ultimate Warrior diehard fan, a Warrior fan more importantly. Just really thought he deserved to be in the WWE Hall of Fame from that point forward. I know he had his politics issues. He had his falling out with the company. Not politic issues, but he had his political views. I know he was very outspoken, and I understand that. I respected that about him. I might not have agreed with everything he did and or said, but him as a person, the intensity, the intimidation, and just being inspirational, the three eyes, not to steal from Kurt Angle here, but he had those three eyes in him. Not the character, but I mean also Warrior the person. And I think it was around the summer of 2011 that I really started watching his videos on a more regular basis. I would look forward to whenever he would upload a new one. And that was in the summer, I think, of 2011, and even in 2012. He didn't really post all that much after that, going into 2012, and not much at all in 2013. But I was super, super psyched when it was announced 2 years after I had become a fan of the Ultimate Warrior that he was making amends with the WWE when he signed on for WWE 2K14. And I saw that commercial with him in it, with the face paint on in that office setting. It was awesome. I couldn't have been happier that day when I saw him in that commercial promoting WWE 2K14. And he hadn't signed a contract with the WWE. He had just signed on to do this video game. And he also appeared in WWE All-Stars, the video game released a few years prior to that, which I own, by the way. Not all that bad of a game. I would suggest it to anyone. I mean, nowadays you have 2K14, which has all the legends in it, but All-Stars came out, and it was a better rendition of Legends of WrestleMania. I thought it was nice. It was kind of so wacky. It was so dumb that it was fun. It was dumb fun. I'll say that much. And so that's where I played as the Ultimate Warrior. But with WWE 2K14, that was really the starting point for Warrior to get back in the WWE fold. And of course, a lot of people, those are when the rumors really started up that Ultimate Warrior was due for an induction in the WWE Hall of Fame this year for 2014. And sure enough, in mid-January, I was excited to see that he was the first one announced for the class of 2014 WWE Hall of Fame. We had Lita, we had Scott Hall / Razor Ramon, we had Carlos Colon, Mr. T, Paul Bearer, Jake Roberts, all very deserving, but I personally was most excited for the Ultimate Warrior. And like I said, I wasn't even a huge fan of his wrestling ability, and he wasn't the greatest wrestler, I think we all know that, but his promos, everything about his character, just the electricity, the charisma, everything about it I loved, and him, more importantly, as a person, is what impacted me as a person, has made me a better person, impacted my life directly. So for that, I could not have been more thankful. And just to see him finally get his due in the WWE Hall of Fame made me happy. I enjoyed his Hall of Fame speech more than anything else on Saturday night. I thought that was phenomenal. To see him make an appearance at WrestleMania, I believe his first WrestleMania since WrestleMania 12, nearly 18 years ago. So his first WWE appearance in nearly 18 years, I thought that was fantastic. And I couldn't have been more excited when it was announced that on Monday that he would make his first Raw appearance in nearly 18 years. His first Raw appearance in 18 years. It was a blockbuster. It was monumental. It was historic. And I know a lot of other people were talking about everything else. The Undertaker's undefeated streak being broken at the hands of Brock Lesnar, which I'm still planning on doing a video on at some point. If not, then an article. Just wait on that. That's not the most important thing at the moment to me. But and Daniel Bryan becoming the new WWE World Heavyweight Champion and that kicking off the show. A lot of people were focused on that, as was I. But I was also most looking forward to the Ultimate Warrior promo, which we got. He came out, shook the ropes, which would end up being his last time shaking the ropes, unfortunately, but we didn't know that at the time. Cutting a very nice promo, speaking on his fans. Nothing really sunk in at that point in time. I just thought it was a nice plug for the WWE Hall of Fame, which I know that was airing after Monday Night Raw, or the replay of it, because I know the show in its entirety aired on the WWE Network on Saturday night. But I thought it was just to serve as a plug for the Hall of Fame, to welcome him back into the fold. I know I read on Saturday that he had signed a multi-year deal with the WWE under a Legends contract, which I thought was awesome. As a new ambassador of the WWE, I thought that was fantastic. And he got a nice, very, very nice reaction from the New Orleans crowd on Monday night, the post-WrestleMania crowd. So I thought that was fantastic, but my heart literally sank when I heard they passed away on Tuesday night. I was very upset. I was going to make this video on Wednesday, but I thought I was in no condition to do the video. I was very upset all day long and still am feeling the after effects today, as of Thursday, as I film this. I don't think I'll put this up until Saturday and whatnot. I've got other Wrestle Rant videos to post, and by the time this is posted, you've probably already seen those. But even still, as of this filming of this video, it's Thursday, April 10th, and it was only yesterday and Wednesday that this all really sunk in. It has yet to sink in that the Ultimate Warrior is gone, just 3 days after being inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame, less than 24 hours removed from his appearance on Monday Night Raw, his first in nearly 18 years. A lot of news websites broke the news. No one was really saying anything negative except this Nancy Grace chick and Colin Cowherd, or whatever the fuck his name is. I don't really want to do this video on that and all the negativity surrounding that, but just all those bullshit rumors that they're starting up that all wrestlers die of steroids. He did it 20 fucking years ago. Who cares? Someone passed away. His daughters are now without a father, which I think is the most saddest thing of all. I think that's the saddest part about any of this. Just seeing them smile and so happy on Saturday night, seeing their father being inducted in the WWE Hall of Fame, are now without a father, I think is the most traumatic thing of all. But I believe, at the time of his death, which I think it's been rumored to be a heart attack. He was in Arizona, his home state where he lives, I think. He was in a hotel. He was with his wife. But even still, though, very, very shocking. Could not have been more shocked when I heard this news. More shocked than anything, and I think it was the most impactful death of any wrestler on me personally. Like I said, an inspirational icon of mine. Not just the Ultimate Warrior character, but Ultimate Warrior, the person, Warrior himself, made a huge impact on my life. So it was the most traumatic wrestling death I think I've ever experienced. I cried for Randy Savage, Paul Bearer, Mae Young earlier this year, but nothing hit me closer to home than Warrior this past week, so I thought that was very traumatic. However, the positives of all of this, he would want us to celebrate his legacy, not more so mourn over his death, and that's what we're all trying to do. WWE held a tribute to him on the WWE Network on Wednesday night by airing his WrestleMania 6 match with Hulk Hogan, and as big of an upset as that was at WrestleMania 6, when he merged the WWE and Intercontinental Championships at WrestleMania 6 against Hogan, in the Sky Dome in Toronto, as big of an upset as that was, no one was as upset then as they are now. I think Tuesday was the definition of an upset in the wrestling world, and all over the world, not even in the wrestling world. I saw Boogie298, I think that's what his username is, Boogie2988, a fellow YouTube user, of course, very known for his gaming content. He posted a video today, Thursday, with his thoughts on the Warrior passing away. I've been subscribed to him for a number of months now, and I never subscribed to him for his wrestling content because he didn't have any. I didn't know he was a wrestling fan, so to see him post that was very touching, very moving. A lot of people in the wrestling world and just the world in general are coming together to mourn the death of Ultimate Warrior. Like I said, the biggest pro wrestling death since Macho Man Randy Savage a few years ago. But it's not to discredit anyone else's death. I mean, like I said, Paul Bearer's was very tragic, as was Mae Young's, and even Big Daddy V a couple months ago. In this year alone, we've had the deaths of Mae Young, who was at an old age, but still, Big Daddy V, a very big guy, so he passed away due to his tremendous weight and whatnot. And Ultimate Warrior, I mean, the steroids and stuff like that, it is what it is. I mean, I don't really want to get into how or why he died, but, just celebrating the legacy that is the Warrior. And of course, we also had the death of Billy Robinson, an England legend for pro wrestling. So there was also that, and we're only in April, so one can only hope we don't have any deaths in the wrestling world. I mean, it's only inevitable, but hopefully we don't have any. You can only hope. Nothing at least this close to the Ultimate Warrior, especially just days after WrestleMania. Like I said, it might not have been as tragic had this happened a few months from now, or just 24 hours removed from his last appearance on Raw, which I'll get to in a moment, is just shocking. I mean, had we not just seen the guy on Monday night, pass away the next day, but even still, I don't think there was any better way for him to go out. Finally making amends with all of his enemies, and Hulk Hogan, Jake Roberts, Kevin Nash, and the list goes on and on and on, making amends with those people, as well as Vince McMahon himself. A picture was posted of him and Vince, I think on Monday night, by Stephanie during Raw, before or after, I'm not really sure. That was a very touching picture. So to see them make amends, put the past behind them, bury the hatchet, was very, very moving and a great way to go out. Finally being inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame, cutting a great speech, in my opinion, one of the best Hall of Fame speeches in history, making one final appearance in the grandest stage of them all at WrestleMania 30, no less, and making one final appearance on Monday Night Raw. Now, speaking of which, his promo was very, very eerie. Shortly after the news broke that he had passed away, people were referring to that promo from Monday night, and as of this viewing, that video on YouTube almost has nearly 3 million views. A lot of people have gone back to watch it, to mourn over the death of Ultimate Warrior, but to catch what he said. And there's been a lot of talk as to whether this was planned, and a lot of people thought, whoa, was it suicide? No, it wasn't fucking suicide. This guy has 2 kids. Why would he commit suicide? I thought that was asinine when people started speculating that. I mean, not to call anyone an idiot or anything, but I just thought that was stupid when people started saying suicide. But anyway, it's like he spoke his own eulogy or eulogy. I don't know. However you say it, I apologize. I completely botched that. But one of the lines in his promo, and I'll read it right now, was every man's heart one day beats its final beat. His lungs breathe their final breath. And he also goes on to say, no WWE talent becomes a legend on their own. And if what that man did in his life makes the blood pulse through the body of others and makes them believe deeper in something larger than life, then his essence, his spirit will be immortalized. So, and everything else he spoke during the course of his promo was very symbolic. So it's got people thinking, was this not planned, you know what I mean? Did he foresee his death? Did he see his foresee his imminent death? Because apparently, according to reports of wrestlers that were there over the weekend, he wasn't feeling well. He didn't look well. He was very happy, of course, and you could definitely tell off the expression off the face of the Warrior at the Hall of Fame at WrestleMania on Raw that he was ecstatic to be there, to be back in the WWE fold. But did he foresee his death coming? I think that's a question we'll never know the answer to. But his promo, regardless whether he knew or not that his death was coming, was one of the most touching things I've ever heard and read in my life. So it's fantastic. I don't think there was any better way for him to go out. Leaves a tremendous legacy behind him. And like I said, the saddest part of all is that 2 daughters now are without their father. So thoughts and prayers go out to the kids of the Warrior, to his wife, to his friends and family, to all of his fans, of course, much like myself, who were watching him in the 80s, that were inspired by him as a kid. The childhood hero that was the Ultimate Warrior. But like I said, couldn't have thought of a better way for him to go out. And I will be shedding a tear and whatnot when the tribute to him airs on Monday Night Raw next week. And, that inevitable video package they air for all the big talents that pass away. The one for Macho Man Randy Savage made me cry like a baby when that aired a couple years ago. Paul Bearer and Mae Young, same thing. But regardless, though, I look forward to seeing that video package. Ultimate Warrior inspired me as a person, as a fan, and everything else, impacted my life directly and very, very heavily. And it's just sad that I was never able to meet him. He was appearing at a Northeast wrestling event, I think in January of 2012, along with Matt Hardy, 2 of my biggest inspirational icons in my life. And they were both at that event. I was unable to go. And I was just thinking about this not too long ago, thinking that had he made an appearance at that show, he'll probably be back at some point. Of course, no, not the case anymore. And I don't believe in regrets and whatnot. I just think I should have gone to that show and to meet Warrior, just tell him how much I appreciate him as an inspirational icon of mine. But nonetheless, we will continue to mourn the death of the Ultimate Warrior. He left a tremendous legacy behind, as I said before. And like I said, couldn't have gone out in a better way than being inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame, following his tremendous career. One of the most, maybe not respected, but definitely one of the most iconic wrestlers in history, in WWE history, and just pro wrestling history as a whole. One of the most beloved characters, charismatic, and one of the most crazy icons in pro wrestling history. So, Warrior, you will be missed. And and also before I end this video, I forgot to say I was gonna film this video at some point. I thought I wouldn't be ready to film this video this soon. I am still mourning over the loss of the Ultimate Warrior. But I was going to wear my Ultimate Warrior t-shirt in this video. I just sent out the order for one on Wednesday. So that will be in the mail pretty soon. And if I make another one of these videos, I will be sure to wear it in the video. So that will be coming in the mail pretty soon. I think it was shipped today. It was on back order until April 18th. But I got an email today saying that it was shipped. So should be here in the next week or so. So I look forward to that. But yeah, that is the Ultimate Warrior's death. Tremendously impacted by it in a very, very sad way, but knowing the Ultimate Warrior and his optimistic attitude, knowing him, I was never able to meet him, but, just knowing of his optimistic attitude, he would want us to celebrate the legacy of the Warrior and have his legacy live on, although he's no longer here with us. So, forever a Warrior fan, one Warrior Nation, always believe.